Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the Chicago Bears and going over the 3 secrets to them making the playoffs in the upcoming season. But before getting that topic, question for those of you viewing, comment down below, where do you rank Khalil Mack amongst pass rushers in the NFL? You got him as the best, second best, top 3, top 5, wherever you have him. Comment down below and I'll give my answer at the end. Getting straight into it though, starting off hot, secret number 1, Justin Fields needs to start day 1. I do not want to see Andy Dalton ever at the starting position for the Bears this year unless Justin Fields goes down. I want to already turn the franchise to Justin Fields. You traded up for a reason. Play him now. I get early on there's going to be some growing pains. He's probably not going to have the greatest start by any means. He's in a tough division. The Bears aren't the most ready. He's going to be a rookie. Rookies have growing pains. There's no perfect rookie, but he needs to get through it now. And I think he has the most raw skill and pure talent amongst quarterbacks in that quarterback room, war room, depth chart, whatever you want to call it, between him, Nick Foles, and Andy Dalton. That's kind of a deep quarterback room, not going to lie, but I do think he has the highest ceiling amongst all 3, and I think they should get him going very soon. If he starts 0-3, still play him out. I understand, obviously, if he's not playing well, then you might want to reconsider, but if he starts 0-3, yet they were just tough matchups, he's been playing well, he's being efficient, he's being productive, he's giving you a decent output that you can at least work with and say, he's doing his job, we just need the rest of the roster to click, then you need to stick with him. I'm going to Justin Fields day 1. Andy Dalton, I get, might be the more experienced in practice. Andy Dalton might be showing slightly more knowledge, slightly more talent today, but you can't tell me in time Justin Fields won't be ready to be a starting quarterback. Like I said, you traded up for him for a reason, and you need to start him right away. And I just don't see you in a division competing with a top 10 defense in the Vikings, a Aaron Rodgers, Detroit I'm not too worried about, but still it's a relatively tough division with some tough opponents that I don't see Andy Dalton going toe-to-toe with. You know, Kirk Cousins isn't a quarterback I fear, but he's not a quarterback that is worse than Andy Dalton, and therefore Justin Fields, he's a talented guy that I think could get a run for Kirk Cousins. And I don't expect the Bears to steal a game from the Packers, but I think they have a much greater chance of stealing a game with Justin Fields and Andy Dalton. For a number of reasons, just pure skill, pure athleticism, and just the necessity of needing him to start, get some NFL reps, get him some NFL experience. They need to roll with Justin Fields week 1 if they want to get into the playoffs. And I understand, let me make this clear. Bears made the playoffs last year, yes, at 8-8 with Mitch Trubisky, and you could argue Andy Dalton's just as good as Mitch Trubisky. But I have a strong belief that there's going to be no team that makes the playoffs this year that is at 500 unless you're out of the NFC East. But a wild card, I think, between the Bucks, Rams, Packers, Vikings, the entire NFC West, really, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals, 49ers, and then maybe 2 NFC East teams, Washington, Dallas, who knows? I just don't see there being a below or right at 500 team, so I'm going to need some more talent for this Bears team. Andy Dalton can lead them to maybe 8-9, but I need Justin Fields to get an above 500 record, and I think he has a better shot than Dalton. Number 2 on the list is I need the Bears to be a solidified top 10 defense. They got the roster on paper: Akeem Hicks, Raquan Smith, Khalil Mack, Eddie Jackson. We'll see how Tashawn Gibson does, how Desmond Trufant does, how Danny Trevathan is. He's up there in age. Robert Quinn getting up there in age. On paper, this is a spectacular defense, like I said. But we need them to at least be a solidified top 10 team. I think they're around the realm of being a top 10 defense on paper, but we need to see it come in fruition. There's a lot of great defenses in the NFL, you know. Steelers, Rams, Washington, Bucks, Patriots, Dolphins, Vikings, like I said. You have the Colts. There's probably a couple more I'm leaving off my list for sure. Browns, I think, have a really improved defense. Ravens have an amazing secondary. Broncos have an amazing secondary. That's 11 pretty good teams that I'm not saying the Bears aren't on par with. I'm not saying those 11 teams are better than the Bears and the Bears are the 12th best defense. I'm just saying it's a tight list of competitive defenses out there in the NFL. I'm sure there's some I left off the top of my head. That was just off the top of my head, and that was in no order, just to make it clear. But the Bears, they need to solidify themselves, label their names, make their brand name a known top 10 defense around the league. If you want to make a playoff push and try and help out a rookie quarterback on the other side, they're going to need some help, or they're going to need to get him some help. Again, I'm expecting from the big names: Robert Quinn, Raquan Smith, Akeem Hicks, Khalil Mack, Eddie Jackson, the brand names, the big ticket names. We need them to step up this year and really help out this rookie. And the rookie's got some help on offense. I'm not trying to act like Justin Fields is going into the Jets offense as Zach Wilson is, but he's got a decent offensive line. I'm happy with them picking up Tevin Jenkins. I'm very happy that they were bold in the draft this year. They got Allen Robinson. They got Darnell Mooney. I don't know if Jimmy Graham's going to be starting at tight end. We'll see how that goes. Anthony Miller. They signed Marquise Goodwin. There's some talent there. I mean, Allen Robinson's a top 10, top 8 receiver in the league. David Montgomery's emerging. I don't think he's this top 10 back that other people think. Just because you get 1,000 yards doesn't mean you're all of that. But it is at least a step in the right direction. I do think he's pushing top 15. I'm not trying to knock him or disrespect him. I'm just saying I don't think he's top 10 yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if he got there. Justin Fields got some help on both sides, but mainly from the defense. I need to see them be top 10 if they want to make a playoff push. And then the third and final secret is I need Matt Nagy to enter the class of being a top 10 head coach. And I need all these things to overlap. I need Justin Fields to start. I need a top 10 defense, and I need Matt Nagy to be top 10. I don't need one of these three for them to make the playoffs. I don't need two of these three for them to make the playoffs. I need all three of these to happen for the Bears to make the playoffs. Matt Nagy, I think, is a great coach. He got Mr. Trubisky to the playoffs twice, and who knows what he would have done in the playoffs if they made that kick against the Eagles in his earlier years. But there's a lot of good coaches in the league. To me, there's probably a top 7 or 8 coaches that are on their own pedestal, on their own mantle. Again, in no order, I like the coaches of Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, Sean Payton, John Harbaugh, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan. Mike Tomlin's a good one. After those 7, I think you can argue between a lot of guys that are all really close, and it's hard to decipher who's better than who. It's just really a preference thing. 8 through 10, even 7 through 10 is a little tricky. Sean McDermott, Kevin Stefanski, Frank Wright, Brian Flores, Ron Rivera, Pete Carroll, Matt Nagy, of course, Mike Zimmer. There's just a lot of guys, and I'm sure I left someone off my list and I'm just not thinking of. It's tough. How do you determine who is a top 10 coach? It's really an opinion thing. It might be a little bit of biasness, but I need Matt Nagy to at least push for it. I'm not saying if he's the 11th best head coach in the league, the Bears won't make the playoffs, but you guys know what I mean. I really need him to fight for that top 10 spot if they want to try and make a run at the playoffs this year. They need to fire all cannons. They need to be on spot in all aspect of the game, football, at quarterback, on defense, in the coaching, and the organization. They need to organize it all together, and I do like this team to make some fun in the NFL this year, have some fun in the NFL this year. Rookie Justin Fields is not something I fear rookie year, but rookie Justin Fields that might have a 2-game win streak, has a top 10 defense, have a top 10 head coach. I'm not, going to set myself up for him like I'm playing the reigning Super Bowl champ Bucks, but I'm not going to set myself up as if I'm playing a team that's like fighting for the number 1 draft pick. Bears are not a team I want to brush off. Justin Fields is not a quarterback I want to brush off. They're not a team I want to ignore. In time, I think Justin Fields has a very high ceiling, and the Bears could be a serious playoff team for many, many years. But his rookie year, they need a couple of things to go their way to make it instantly. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see if these things happen. You guys tell me, do you agree or disagree with my 3 secrets? Just go over them one more time for you guys really quick. I need Justin Fields to start week 1. I need the Bears to be a top 10 defense, and I need Matt Nagy to fight his way to a top 10 head coach, or at least be in the realm of. You guys tell me, though, do you agree or disagree with those 3 secrets? And further back to the question, where do I rank Khalil Mack? It depends if you consider Aaron Donald a pass rusher. He's a defensive tackle, but pass rushers, I feel like Aaron Donald, he's number 1. No one touches him. It's 1, and then there's 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D, on and on and on. Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, those are 4 guys I feel like are all in their same thing. Again, Khalil Mack, in no order. These guys, 4 guys are in no order. Khalil Mack, Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Joey Bosa, Aaron Donald. So I'd say top 5 pass rusher. Depends if you count Donald or not. If you don't count Donald, I'd say he's top 4. I'd probably put him above TJ Watt. I'd slightly put him above Joey Bosa, and then him and Myles Garrett are neck or neck. I think it just whoever has a better day. You guys tell me, though. Do you agree or disagree? As always, and of course, thank you for watching, guys. 2 Minute Warning.